Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Code with Sunny, and today I am going to discuss the problem, the loop problem. Okay, so the problem name is the loop problem, and it will be of from April Easy 2021 Hackathon. Okay, so let's discuss the problem now. So basically, you can see here we have been given a code, that is you can see a small code where I is going to vary from A up to B and J is going to vary from C up to D, and we have to, and there is a sum variable that is going to add the XOR value of I and J for every I and for every J from A to B and C to D respectively. Okay, so what we have to do in this problem, for Bob to win the game, he needs to answer Ali's questions quickly. Okay, and how quick should it to be? It should be like A and B is going to vary up to 10 power 9, and C and D is going to vary up to 10 power 9, and we have to do this nested loop. That is, we have to run this nested loop. So it is obvious that we cannot have a brute force solution. Okay, so if we are not going to have a brute force solution, we should optimize this one to such an extent that is we can have a solution with a number of iterations less than 10 power 6 or 10 power 7, and we have to answer this sum by taking modulo this number. So it is obvious that our answer can be very large. So how we are going to do that? That is, for every I from A to B and for every J from C to D, we need to compute this XOR sum. Okay. So how we are going to do that? Let's understand this in detail. Okay, you can see I have here taken a simple example, that is A from 5 and B to 6 and C from 7 and to 9, that is up to D. Okay, so the question says for every I from A to B, that is if you are taking I as 5, then we must take J from 7 to 9 both inclusive. So I would be doing like 5 XOR 7, 5 XOR 8, 5 XOR 9 and 6 XOR 7, 6 or 8 and 6 or 9, and add up these sums to get the final answer. Okay, so it is obvious that brute force solution will not pass, so we should think for an efficient solution. So what should be the efficient solution? Can we represent each numbers in the binary form and find out the sum? Okay, so before going much in detail, let's first understand the XOR concept. That is how this concept of XOR can help us to find the efficient solution of this problem. Okay, so let's head over to this one. Okay, so one thing that you guys should tell me, or you should think upon yourself, that is what is the value of this ones or zero. You can easily see if the bits are going to be different, I will have 1, or if zeros or 1, I will have 0, or if the bits are going to be same, like ones or 1 or zeros or 0, you can easily see I will have all. Okay, sorry, here we will have 1 and it will be 0. Okay, so now you can see if I want to compute this XOR for every element for I from A to B and from C to J is going to write from C to D, I have to compute I XOR J efficiently. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So you can easily see, if I should work for if I should focus on working on a bits rather than working on the number, then it should be efficient. Because okay, so let's consider a binary representation of the number. So if we consider a binary representation of, let's say, 5, you can easily see binary representation of 5 is 101, and if I am going to take 5 or 7, our 7 would be like 1 1 1, and if we take 5 or 7, you can see we can compute this 5 or 7 efficiently using the help of the bits. That is, if the bits are going to be same on the ith position, you can see this bit, if we take XOR, then the ith position bit is not going to contribute to the answer because the bits are going to be same. And similarly, in this position you can see 0 and 1 are different, so this is going to contribute in our answer. That should be like 2 power the bit position, that is 1, that is contributing 2 value, and the bits are going to be same here, so it is not going to contribute any value, so it would be like just 0. Okay, so if we take 5s or 7, our answer would be like this. So how we can do this efficiently with the help of the bits? Okay, so let's make this concept clear more. So it would be like we have all the numbers in the range A to B, and we have all the numbers in the range C to D, And suppose we are working on the ith position of the bit, or let's say zeroth position or first position, or you can say the second position starting from the rightmost side in the binary representation. So if you are working on the ith position of the bit, let us calculate what are the total numbers in the range a to b that have ith bit position as 1, that is ith bit position will have character 1. So if you are not going to understand this, no need to worry about, I am going to just do like that. If 5 is like 101 and 6 is like 6 would be like 4 and 2. So you can easily see, if I'm going to talk about what are the number of numbers in the ith bit position, if I is going to be like 0, you can see number of numbers whose ith bit position is has the character 1, you can see the it is only 5, and because 6 has the ith position as a bit as 0. Okay, so I'm going to calculate number of numbers whose ith position bit is 1, let's call it as ones 1, and the number of numbers whose ith bit position is 0 in the range a to b both inclusive would be length of this range, that is b minus a plus 1 minus number of ones, and let's call it as zeros 1. And similarly I'm going to calculate for this range also, that is number of numbers whose ith bit position is 1, that is ith bit position is 1 in the range, number of numbers in the range c to d both inclusive, and let's call it as ones 2, and let's call it as zeros 2. For the number of numbers in the range c to d both inclusive whose ith bit position is 0, let's call it as zeros 2. Now just tell me one thing, that if we want to that ith bit should be 1, because if we are not working on ith bit as 0, that is what should be our answer in this case, because if one both bit are going to say be same, our answer it will not going to be incremented by anything. So I should work on that bits that are going to be different. So I should use this bit and this bit, and I should use this bit and this bit, that is number of numbers whose ith bit position is 1, and the number of numbers in the range c to d now whose ith bit position is 0, and if these are going to be multiplied, then we will have the total number of contributions in the ith bit as 1. Okay, and similarly zeros 1 and ones 2 also. Okay, so what is the value that our answer should be incremented by? You can easily see our answer should be incremented by total number of contributions in for the ith bit. Total number of contributions for the ith bit would be O of 1. O of 1 is the number of numbers in the range A to B both inclusive whose ith bit has the character 1 multiplied by number of numbers in the range C to D both inclusive whose ith bit is 0, that is Z2, plus number of numbers whose ith bit is 0, whose ith bit is 1 in the range C to D both inclusive, let's say O2, and similarly for Z1. These are the total number of contributions, but you can see if my answer should have to add these contributions, I should must have to append one extra thing multiplied by the ith bit value, that is 2 power I. Okay, so this is the contribution of the ith bit position, that is our answer should be incremented by this. Okay, and I'm not talking about like bits are going to be same. Why I'm not talking about? Because it would be like incrementing our answer by 0. Okay, so in the here we will have this answer being incremented O1 into Z2 plus O2 into Z1 into 2 power I. Okay, so but here one thing should be calculated efficiently, that is the power, that is we have to calculate the power efficiently using binary exponentiation. Okay, and one thing more I should have to talk about is how we are going to find out the number of numbers whose ith bit is 1 in the range A to B. How we are going to find this efficiently? Okay, so to work upon that, let's understand the simple pattern. Okay, so let's look over that. You can see I have written some numbers from 1 to 16 to understand this pattern efficiently. Okay. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so for the first bit position, that is for the I equal to 0 starting from the rightmost side, you can see there is a pattern, that is if 1 is present over here, that is for the number 1 at the ith bit is 1, then for the number 3 a 0th bit would be, okay, so 0th bit is coming for the number 3, and again the 0th bit is coming for the number 5, and again the 0th bit is coming for the number 7. You can see the difference. The difference is for distance equal to 1. And similarly, if you are working on the first bit, that is I equal to 0, I equal to 1 starting from the rightmost side, you can see my bit set bit equal to 1 will start from number 2 and it goes up to number 3, and then it will start from number 6 and it will go up to number 7, and then it will start from number 10 and it will goes up to number 11, and then it will start from 14 and it will go up to number 15, and similarly so on. So there is a pattern. Okay, so I'm just writing a similar pattern for every bit position. You can generalize this case or you can see the code, you will understand that efficiently. Okay, so let's write down the general pattern for every ith bit starting from the rightmost position. Okay, so let's erase this stuff. Okay. Okay, so just I'm going to write for the I for okay, for I equal to 0, you can easily see if I'm going to start from the rightmost side, for that is for I equal to 0, that is 2 power 0, that is I am talking about. Okay, so for I equal to 0, you can see it is starting from the, that is for set bit equal to 1 will start from number 1, and then it will go up for, it will go for the number 3, then it will go for the number 5, then it will go for the number 7, then it will go up to for the number 9 and so on. Okay, so for I equal to 1, it will start from number 2 and it will go up to number 3. This is important. Okay, and then it will start from number 6 and it will go up to like number 7. Okay, so let me check it out if I'm going to work one. Yes, for the number this one, it will start from 6 and it will go up to 7. Okay, and for next one, it would be like it will start from 10 and it will go up to 11. And what should be the next one? You can easily understand it. The difference is like 2, 6 and 10, and the next one would be like 14 simply, and it will be going up to like 15. And you can also see why it will be going up to like a distance one. You can easily see that what should be the difference, that is 2 power 1. Okay, and it is of 2 power 1, and you can see the number of numbers in this range is 2 and 3, only 2 numbers, and 2 power 1 is also 2, and 6 and 7, which is also 2 numbers, 10 and 11, which is also 2 numbers. Okay, and you can also see here I equal to 0, 2 power 0, it is like 1. The number of numbers are 1 1 1 1. Okay, and let's talk about some I equal to 3 also. For I equal to 3, you can see it will start from which number. That is the important. You can easily see. Okay, so sorry, I have written I equal to 3, I equal to 2. Similar, it will start from 2 power 2, like 4. And what is the length it will go? 4, 5, 6, 7. It will go up to 4, 7 because I have to include 4 numbers, because you can easily see I equal to 2, it would be like 2 square, that is 4. It will always be like 4 numbers that should be included. Okay, and again for if we have done with 4 and 7, I need to step forward by I need to step forward by 2 power I plus 1, that is I must go for 12, and it will go up to 15, and similarly it will go up to 20, and it will go up to 23, and so on. Okay, if I'm going to ask what would be for I equal to 3, it is like a start from 2 power 3, 8, and it will go up to for 8 length, that is 8 to 15. And what should be the next one? It should be like jump directly to 2 power I plus 1, that is you can see if I'm working for 18, 8, yeah, that is I equal to 3, that is I equal to 3, 2 power 3, it would be like 8. Then I should jump for 2 power 4, that is 16, that is 8 to 16. So what should be like I equal to 3? Let me write few patterns. Okay, for I equal to 3, it will start from 8 to 15, and then then the next step would be From 8 it would jump to 24. I think I am right. Okay, this jump is of 8 and next jump would be of 16. Okay, yes, 24 to some 8 distance it will be like 31. Yes, it would be like that. Okay, so how we are going to calculate this the number of numbers whose ith bit is set to 1? You can easily see ith bit set to 1 would be like 4 to 7 as all the ith bit, that is second bit, set to 1, and 12 to 15. How we are going to calculate that efficiently? Okay, so let me write one general relation. That is, you can see the jump is going to be of like 4 then to 12. That is, jump is of like 2 power, if I is 2, 2 power I plus 1. Okay, so I am going to just write a simple relation. It would be like the total number of numbers we have to find from A to B. So why not to find from 1 to B and subtract total number of numbers from 1 to A minus 1. Okay, so we are going to subtract 1 to B minus 1 to A minus 1. Okay, so how to calculate from 1 to B? It would be like simply just do like 2 power I into, okay, I'm going to write it clearly, 2 power I, and it is going to be multiplied by the, what would be the distance. You can see I'm going to do that, find out the distance that is from B to A, that is the distance from B to A. Just do that simply. Okay, so I'm going to find out the distance, that is, let's call it as D, and let's find out the jump that is going to be made, that is 2 power I plus 1. You can easily like okay, so first I'm going to write, okay, so let me complete, then I'm going to tell 2 power I plus 1. Okay, so first calculate this integer division and then multiply this number with this one. It would be giving the same answer, plus I need to have some modulus over here, or I need to add some extra term which should be like minimum of this value, that is 2 power I, and a minimum of this value, and I should take the modulus, because sometimes the my new term that I'm going to write now is going to exceed, so I need to have to take it with modulus 2 power I. Okay, so I need to take like minimum of 2 power I and the distance modulus 2 power I plus 1. This would be giving the sufficient answers. If you are not going to understand this concept clearly, so I will recommend you just do this arithmetic progression is basically there, or you can easily see the difference. I think I've told wrong. Okay, so it doesn't matter, basically you should focus on the difference, that is 2, 6 and 10. I need to calculate from A to B efficiently total number of ones in the set bit at position I equal to 1, I equal to 3, or so on. Okay, and similarly you can find out this one also, and the different, this formula is going to be valid. Okay, so let's head over to the code to analyze this problem and its implementation in the best way. Okay, so let's move further. Okay, so you can see I have here a binary exponentiation function that is going to calculate power of a number, power of a comma b efficiently in log of min of ab time. Okay, okay, so I will have a bin power function that is going to calculate in logarithmic time the power. And first let's discuss now I'm going to just do for every set bit position from 0 up to 30. Why I'm going to do up to 30? You can easily see the values of a and b can go up to 10 power 9. So I need, so 2 power 30 is just crossing this 10 power 9, so I need to do up to 2 power 30. Okay, so for every mask from 0 to 31, or you can say less than 31, just calculate interval, that is the limit from B. And also you can see that I'm going to calculate begin one, that is from 1 to A minus 1, and end one is from 1 to B. Just subtract the total number of ones, and it would be like if I've got the ones, I can easily get the zeros by subtracting the number of ones from this length B minus A plus 1, and similarly into 2 begin 2 and ones 2. Okay, now what is the contribution? That is, first contribution is ones 1 into zeros 2, as I've already said, and second contribution is ones 2 into zeros 1. And what is the overall contribution? That is, add those two those contributions. What is the value that is going to be contributed in the ith set bit position? It would be simply like contribution into 2 power I. Okay, just add this contribution for every I from I equal to 0 to I equal to less than 31. Okay, and let's submit this code and check it out if this is going to work fine or not. Okay, so let's check it out. Going, accepted. Okay, so if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section of the video. And if you have any doubts, just mention in the comment section of the video, and I will ask the viewers to like this video, share this video, and do subscribe to YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you for watching this video.